Hey, you guys, my name is Jared, and I am the owner and founder of True North Divorce. At True North Divorce, we specialize in working with people going through divorce, particularly men and fathers. I have been divorced many times myself, and since I've been there myself, I know the emotions that you're feeling. I know the difficulty and the stress and the feelings of being lost and broken and having the whole world that you knew ripped out from under you or just having it drastically change. I know those feelings, and I've taken it upon myself to become very educated in the process of going through divorce and moving on from divorce. And I am certified as a divorce coach, certified as an amicable and holistic divorce coach, as well as certified as a mediator. Now, at True North Divorce, we want to help you guys go through your process and to not have to do it alone, because I know what it's like. It sucks. It's hard. It's one of the hardest things that you'll ever go through, and I know that from personal experience. So reach out to me if you're at all considering it. If you and your spouse have talked about it at all, now's a really good time to really start working with somebody. What I specialize in is working with you in one-on-one setting or a group setting, and then we meet weekly. We'll do a weekly session, more if you need it. Typically, people do one session a week, and we do it via Zoom. So no matter where you live, wherever you're at, I can help you with that. We do a weekly Zoom session for about 45, 50 minutes or so, and I work with you. I serve as your thinking partner. So you take whatever struggles you're going through, whatever your biggest struggles and headaches are in the process right now, bring them to the table, and that's what we will work on for that session. Now, if there's a lot of things, that's fine. Bring them all, and I will work with you in a methodical process in a way that we can start tackling the things that will matter most the soonest and help you get through things where you're not feeling like you're alone. The way I look at divorce is I consider it as if you were dropped at the peak of the very tallest mountain that you've ever seen in your life. And you were dropped up there without planning on it. So you didn't have any hiking boots. You didn't have any map or compass or water or food or any idea of where you're at or how to get down from that mountain. And what I do is I work with you as your thinking partner. So I'm as your guide up there on the mountain. I'm also your supplier up on the mountain. And what I do with you is after our very first initial mapping session where we find out where you're at in the process, then I do what I call as a supply drop. That very first real session, I give you the tools that you need. Like with the analogy of being on that mountain, I will get you the compass, the water, some hiking boots, a tent, sleeping bag, maybe a hat, the essentials that you'll need to survive, a good knife or machete or something like that, flint and steel. Think of it however you want. The main tools that you'll need to survive on that mountain before thinking of a way out, those survival tools, that's what I call our supply drop. So our very first session together will be our supply drop session, where I will help give you the tools that you need to survive. Because when you're at the beginning stages or the roughest stages of divorce, you're just thinking about survival sometimes. And that's all there is to do in the moment is survive. And you don't know how. And so that first supply drop will get you the tools necessary to help you survive. And then after that, we'll start working through all the other tools that are going to be helpful for you to get down off that mountain. We'll help you figure out a path, how to get there, and then I'm going to help navigate you through there and get you all the way back down onto solid ground. That's not always a fast, easy fix either. Sometimes it takes a long time, and however long it takes, however much you need from me, that's what I can do for you. I can be there for you through it all, and I can help you become, a credible client for your attorney. I can help you make sure you've got the best attorney for you. Not necessarily, the most popular best shark type of attorney, but depending on what your situation is, maybe you don't need that kind. But maybe you've got a good attorney, but you don't know how to ask the right questions. You don't know how to really be prepared for them. Or maybe you're spending a ton of money with your attorney, having them help you with things that attorneys really aren't needed for. So you're just paying a lot of money for things you don't need, like, deciphering communication between you and your ex, things like that. Being a credible or a better qualified client for your attorney is going to save you money in the long run. And that's one of the things I love most about my job and about what I do, is that I can help you with things at a fraction of the price that an attorney will help you with a lot of those things. We'll save the attorney's time and their billing for the legal matters. That's really an important step of the process. And unfortunately, a lot of people go straight to their attorneys once divorce is happening, and they spend a ton of money, and a lot of times they're not happy with how things go. The goal, obviously, is to come out from your divorce the best way possible, meaning doesn't mean that you've got all your kids all the time. It doesn't mean that you've got all the money. It doesn't mean that you've got zero of the debt. It doesn't mean that you have all of the assets. That would be ideal, right? Certain situations might be ideal for you that are different from anybody else. And so together we will work towards making sure that the divorce looks as much like you want it to as possible. And sometimes that means we're going to mediation, right? If you're going to mediation, a lot of states require that before stepping into a courtroom. And I can help you prepare for mediation as well. One of the downfalls that I see a lot of times with couples is they go into mediation without having prepared ahead of time to know what they're even going to discuss or what they even want from their settlement. And so I will work with you to know what is the best case scenario for you in a divorce, what's the best case that you walk away with, and then also what's the worst case that you would be still okay with. And the goal is to get you somewhere in that range, right? You don't want to be outside of that where you feel like you got screwed and you didn't walk away with anything that you felt like you should have in the mediation process. Really what you want is somewhere where you're okay, a range of, this is best of bad options, and then this is the best of all the good options. And so somewhere in between you're going to be okay with, if that's a place where you and your ex can agree. The less conflict, the better. Conflict is inevitable though. And so learning how to manage that conflict is a skill and a tool that's going to really benefit you. Having a coach with you along the whole process, the whole step of the way, as a weekly thinking partner, and basically like a guide, like I consider it, coming down off that mountain, is going to be your best chance of success and the best chance of having the least amount of negative repercussions for the kids and for yourself going through this. So again, reach out to me. If you're considering it all, or anybody that you know, a loved one that's considering divorce, please don't go at it alone. Like I said, I did it a few times myself in the past, and I don't recommend it. I didn't know about divorce coaching back then. But if I did, it would have made a huge difference in my decisions that I made, some of which I would have made differently than I did on my own, because I didn't have anybody looking long-term for me or with better experience than me, helping me see the bigger picture. So I would love to help you with that. Don't do it alone. Reach out, send me a message, shoot me a text, send me an email, whatever it is, and let me know your situation, and we can figure out when is a good time for us to talk and have that initial consultation. Like I said, I call it a mapping session. We'll figure out where you're at in the process, and then if it's a good fit for both of us, we'll make a game plan moving forward. All right, you guys, you take care.